Have you ever walked past someone in need and wondered if stopping could change anything? What if offering a moment of kindness could change not only their day, but your life too? This is the story of Anna, an ordinary woman in the US, who chose to help a homeless man when everyone else looked away. Stay with me until the end, because what happened next will make you rethink the power of compassion forever. And before we begin, I want to ask you, have you ever stopped for a stranger, just because your heart told you to? Share your answer in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories that prove kindness still exists. Anna lived in a bustling American city, the kind where the streets never seemed to sleep. The high-rise buildings gleamed under the sun during the day, and at night, neon lights painted the sidewalks with color. Every morning, crowds of workers, students, and tourists rushed across crosswalks, coffee cups in hand, earbuds in, eyes glued to their phones. Anna was one of them, 29 years old, a graphic designer. She had a steady job at a mid-sized advertising firm. To anyone looking from the outside, she had life figured out, an apartment downtown, a paycheck every 2 weeks, and a routine that gave her structure. But inside, Anna often felt like she was on autopilot. She got up, dressed, grabbed her bag, walked to work, sat at her desk, and returned home exhausted. Life was predictable, but it felt empty. Her daily route took her down 7th Avenue and across Pine Street, and on that corner, every single morning, sat a man. He was hard to ignore, not because he spoke loudly or begged, but because of how still he was. His cardboard sign was simple, just trying to get back on my feet. His clothes were ragged, his hair unkempt, and his shoes worn to almost nothing. Anna had noticed him months ago, the way you notice a landmark you pass every day. She saw how people avoided looking at him, how some crossed the street to not walk past. He never called out, never rattled a cup. He just sat, eyes lowered, with the kind of tired sadness that told a story words never could. Sometimes Anna thought about stopping, but her mornings were rushed, emails to answer, deadlines to meet, a boss who hated tardiness. I'll help next time, she told herself, and next time never came. Until one morning in late November. The air was icy that day, the kind of cold that stung cheeks and made people walk faster. Anna's scarf was pulled up to her nose, her hands buried in her coat pockets. As she neared Pine Street, she saw him again, but this time, something was different. He wasn't sitting upright with his sign propped in front of him. He was slumped against the wall, arms tucked into his jacket, his body shivering violently. His head drooped forward, and his lips looked pale. Anna's steps slowed. She felt her chest tighten. People walked past without pause, their coats swishing, boots pounding the pavement. A few glanced at him but quickly looked away. For a moment, Anna almost did the same. She almost walked past, telling herself she had a meeting in 20 minutes, telling herself that someone else would stop, but her feet wouldn't move. She crouched down, her breath visible in the cold air. "Excuse me," she said softly. The man stirred, his eyes fluttering open. They were blue, cloudy with exhaustion. "Are you okay?" Anna asked. He gave a weak laugh, more like a cough. "Just cold. Haven't eaten since yesterday." His voice was hoarse, the words slow. Anna swallowed hard. She reached into her tote bag and pulled out the sandwich she had packed for herself, a turkey and cheese on wheat bread. She held it out. "Here, please take this." The man blinked, as if unsure whether to accept. His hands trembled as he reached for it. "Thank you," he whispered. His voice cracked on the words, like he wasn't used to saying them anymore. Anna hesitated, then said, "What's your name?" For a moment, he looked surprised, as if no one had asked him that in a long time. "David," he said finally. "I'm Anna," she replied with a small smile. "It's nice to meet you, David." He nodded, clutching the sandwich as though it were a treasure. Anna stood up, adjusted her bag, and said, "I'll see you tomorrow." Then she walked away, her heart pounding, unsure why such a small interaction left her feeling so heavy. The next morning, she brought an extra bagel and coffee. David's face lit up when she handed it to him. "You didn't have to," he said. "I wanted to," she replied. That became their routine. Every morning, Anna brought him something small, food, a hot drink, sometimes even gloves or socks when the weather grew colder. At first, their conversations were brief. "How are you today?" she'd ask. "Hanging in there," he'd answer. But slowly, as the days turned into weeks, David began to share more. He told her he had once been a construction worker, proud of building things with his hands. He had a wife once too, a woman he loved deeply, but she passed away after a sudden illness. In his grief, he lost focus at work, missed days, and eventually lost his job. Without income, he lost his apartment. The spiral was quick, and before he knew it, he was on the street. Anna listened. She didn't judge, she didn't pity, she just listened. And for David, That alone was priceless. One morning, Anna noticed the holes in his shoes. His socks were soaked through, his toes peeking out. That evening, she went to a store and bought a sturdy pair of boots and thick wool socks. The next day, she handed them to him. David's eyes widened. "I can't accept these," he said, shaking his head. "Yes, you can," Anna insisted. "Everyone deserves warm feet." He laughed, a sound rusty but real. "You're something else, Anna." Through December, Anna and David grew closer. He began waiting for her in the mornings, greeting her with a smile that chipped away at the walls life had built around him. She found herself looking forward to their conversations more than anything else in her day. He told her stories about construction sites, about how he used to make his wife laugh, about his dream of opening a small carpentry shop one day. Anna, in turn, told him about her job, her love for art, and the way she often felt invisible in the crowd, even though she had a home and steady work. "Funny," David said one morning, sipping coffee she had brought him. "You think I'm invisible? I think you're the only one who really sees me." The words stayed with her. Then, one morning in January, David wasn't there. His corner was empty, the cardboard sign gone. Anna's stomach knotted. Had something happened? Was he sick? Or worse? For 3 days, she checked, and each day the corner remained empty. She couldn't focus at work, couldn't shake the worry. On the 4th day, she saw him walking toward her, carrying a small duffel bag. He looked different, cleaner, brighter, with a cautious smile. "Anna," he called, his voice stronger. She rushed to him. "Where were you? I was worried." He chuckled softly. "I'm sorry, I should have left a note." Then his expression grew serious. "I wanted to tell you, you gave me the courage to ask for help. I went to a shelter, they helped me get into a program. I have a temporary place to stay now, and I have a job interview tomorrow." Anna's eyes filled with tears. She hugged him tightly. "I'm so proud of you, David." Months passed, and spring replaced winter. Anna saw David less often, but sometimes he stopped by her office building to say hello. One afternoon in May, she was sitting in her favorite coffee shop when she felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned and gasped. David stood there, not in ragged clothes, but in a neat uniform with his name stitched on the chest. His hair was trimmed, his face healthier than she had ever seen. He was grinning ear to ear. "I got the job," he said proudly. "I'm working at a carpentry shop, and I have my own apartment now. It's small, but it's mine." Anna beamed, her heart swelling. "That's incredible, David." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small object. It was a wooden keychain, carefully carved into the shape of a heart. He handed it to her. "I made this for you," he said, "to remind you of the day you stopped. That moment changed everything for me." Anna held the keychain, tears in her eyes. She realized she hadn't just helped David, he had changed her too. He reminded her that one act of kindness could ripple outward in ways she never imagined. So the next time you see someone in need, ask yourself, what difference could stopping for even a moment make? You might not change the whole world, but for that person, and maybe even for yourself, you could change everything. And if Anna's story touched you, I invite you to do 2 things. Share this video with someone who believes in compassion, and subscribe to this channel for more stories that remind us all of the power we hold to make the world brighter, one act of kindness at a time.